off for a second?
No, there's Frank. See, that's Frank.
Hello.
And Jim's coming, and Art's coming.
Hey there.
Okay, everybody back? Well, almost. Can you guys hear me?
I hear you.
I hear you.
Okay.
Waiting for Vicente. Where are you, Vicente?
Yeah. Vicente got in there in the last 10 seconds.
Well, Ray isn't here either, is he?
Yeah.
He was asking whether there was another link, so apparently he wasn't aware of the other link. So,
Well, I tried to say email real fast, but I don't know if he heard it or not. I got a couple of new toys this past couple of days.
For some reason, that doesn't surprise us. Leroy, what you got?
I'm surprised.
yeah.
Hang on. I'm going to try to email Ray real fast with the new.
Just send him the link, I guess. Huh?
Yeah. And then I will show off some new toys.
Vicente hasn't shown up either.
All right. That was done. New toy number 1. Dun, dun, dun. This is an ESP32 with VGA connector, PS2 mouse, PS2 keyboard. It's a little tiny game system.
PS2.
Yeah, PS2. You know those old keyboards that everybody throws away? Now I need to find some.
I was going to say, I have a stack of them in my lab at school, about 30 or 40 of them, which they're scheduled to go.
I see them at the thrift store for like 99 cents a piece or something. I'll grab one, but it's got audio out. They made little tiny video games with this thing. And this was like $6, $7. It's got an SD card slot. I just thought after I saw the video on the video games and some of the other funky stuff that it did, I was like, why not? Can never have too many funky things that have VGA and PS2 connectors.
Yes, you can. I threw away like a truck load of that stuff. I actually had to take it over to the recycling place. And, you know, it's kind of like, and I don't know, maybe I was in the same shape that you are, Leroy. There's always that, okay, I'm going to figure out something to do with this. You know? Kept piling up. Not only did I have my stuff, but I had my kids' stuff, you know, before they went to college and then after they went to work. They just dumped it all here.
Yeah.
So eventually, I just had to let it go. Stereo things, you know, all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
you're not gonna let it go, though. I know.
I probably have a PS2 keyboard somewhere. It's probably in storage, but I'll end up going and buying another one because, you know, why not? Here, turn this down.
I even found some old baseball cards here. I haven't thrown them away because I think they may have some value, but probably not.
Well, the question is whether they have value in our lifetime or not.
Yeah.
All baseball cards eventually have value.
My grandkids calling on the Zoom or on the. Hang on just a second. Well, do you got her?
Space Invaders.
Okay.
Wow.
Sorry about that. This guy, there's one of the games that you can play on this thing. I don't have the audio turned on, but it can do like some funky audio stuff too. Space Invaders. Always got to be able to play Space Invaders and move sprites around. And of course, do Commodore Basic. I think the Commodore Basic is probably what sold me on buying this.
Wow.
Oh, there's Vicente.
Hi.
Hi there.
I have problem with my camera. I was playing with the drivers. Let me try to solve this while we're talking.
It won't let me stop sharing the screen.
Okay.
What the heck? What are you doing to me, Zoom?
Doesn't look like you're sharing.
No,
Screen.
I don't know what the heck's going on.
I'm seeing the group view.
All right, now you, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are seeing, you're seeing me, not the video.
Yeah.
Did you see the video at all?
Nope.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Previously, I saw it, you know.
Huh.
Oh,
Okay.
you're talking about the YouTube video? Yeah, a couple minutes ago.
That's interesting. Well, Zoom is broken.
No, really?
You working.
Here, I'm fine.
I can't see you guys.
That may not be a disadvantage.
That's a feature.
I think it's because the grandkid called in and messed with everything, but I don't know. That's weird. I don't know. Can you guys see that? That's another.
Yep.
That's another new toy I haven't really got to play with. That's the M5 paper.
Okay.
E-ink screen, 960 by 540 pixels. Fast refresh rate. Here. So get it turned on. Maybe. There we go. Game of life.
Game of life.
See, it's not refreshing like a normal e-ink. You can actually see the stuff moving around the screen while it's doing whatever. Maybe you can, maybe you can't.
Yeah, it doesn't show up really well. You can see the movement, but
You know, a normal display like this flashes almost every time you update it. So they have figured out something somewhere, somehow. It actually uses the same screen as that Lilio TT Go e-paper display that I showed you guys a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
But it's using a different driver, I think. And it's a touch screen, so I can touch it. I can't see what I'm doing, but they've got a demo showing various things. It's a pretty nice device. It's in its own little nice case. Got an SD card. Of course, M5 really documents their stuff good. So you've got all the pinouts and everything right there on the back. And obviously it's got a battery in it. It's a pretty nice little thing.
Rechargeable?
Rechargeable. Yeah. So I had this on the charger overnight and it's saying 71%. And I haven't really used it. So I don't know if it's not reading the battery voltage correctly or if the battery really is at 71%.
Does it take a micro USB charger?
USB-C.
Okay.
So I had it charging up overnight, plugged into the computer. I may just try to plug it into like one of those 110 volt adapter dealies and give it a shot. The other thing that I've noticed about it, and it's all software. The clock it's keeping the time is it's correct, but it's like 12 hours off. So it says 7 p.m. right now, which, okay, it's an hour off right now, but it's saying 7. It's not saying whatever that is, 1900. But at 7 a.m., it says 1900. So it's like it's backwards. But
Australia.
-4 on the time zone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that that's just software doing that. And that can be fixed. So that's really my big toys. And I can't see you guys at all, so.
Well, I got some of your recommended bulbs there, Jim.
Oh.
I have 4 of them installed, but
Cool.
they are not the brand. Let me just see if I can bring up the screen.
Sunco is what I used. Yeah.
I had them here. Oh, yes. Can I share this screen?
You should be able to.
Well, let me see here.
I mean, I've lost all my controls and everything. So
that may fix your problem if you can share it. I've had a lot of these crazy things happen with Zoom also.
Okay, this is the
yes, yeah,
Amazon site for it.
Okay. YMT. Okay.
Yeah, these are. I think these. Yeah, it's 100-watt equivalent. They work fine. And the thing I like about them is they're relatively stable. You don't get this business right at dusk or dawn where they're jittering on and off and on and off and so forth and so on. They apparently have some sort of a power servo in there that prevents that from happening. So yeah, I'm real happy with them.
Sounds like they got that nailed down, huh?
Yeah, now these are sold by Shine Tech Store, but that's just a distributor. But they work great. They're a little pricey. I mean, you're talking about what, $23 for 4 of them. So you're talking about what, almost $6 a piece for them. But
Yeah, I think the Suncos are a little cheaper than that. But yeah. But they're
okay,
handy.
I'm sorry.
They're handy.
Yep. Yeah, because up until now, what I've had is I have an LED bulb, and then I have one of those things that screws in between the socket and the bulb that senses the daylight. And I find I've had 3 or 4 different brands of those, and I find that those are unstable. They'll sit there, and if there's a marginal light situation, they'll sit there and flutter on and off and on and off. And that's, I didn't like that at all. So, but these seem to be real solid. So, of course,
Cool.
I've only had them up for a week, so or less than a week now. So we'll see. Knock wood.
Art, there's some in the news articles, there's one that you might be interested in. It's a permeable membranes. There looks like they're coming into the Canucks have brought them into regular use. They're talking about using them on the output of a boiler, and it can filter out the CO2, and you can process the CO2 and get liquid CO2, or some people put it back into the burner to try to break it up more, recirculate it, like they used to do with the old gasoline engines. They can recirculate. Also, they have hydrogen filter too, which they're using in petroleum refineries to filter out hydrogen. They use hydrogen in some of their processes, and they're getting hydrogen off of the refineries. So it looks interesting. Of course, there's nothing about the drawbacks in the articles, but
okay, yeah. This is somebody selling something, right? So, no, but those selective membranes are a real interesting area. They're also starting to use them in a lot of biotech applications where they filter out various biological substances, microbiological substances.
green hydrogen is one they use. Use that second link I sent with it, and you can select the one you want to see, and they're all over the place. Frank, what are you doing?
Well, I got my email working, kind of. I don't have virtual domains set up, but I can send and receive email on this Ubuntu server that I'm bringing up. What else am I doing? I do a lot of stuff on the house. I'm going to get some stone countertops, so I got it all measured, and the guy came out and did it like a laser. This was an interesting conversation I had with my son. My son thinks that it's a scam. When they do the installation, the countertop has to be level. So they came up with this charge for the leveling, which you would think it's just, you're gonna put some shims. Now the countertop that's now is the old fashioned wooden kind of thing. The guy brought out this real fancy laser leveler, and he said it's slightly out of line. And so it's supposedly costing $800 for somebody to come out and level it before the other guys can come out and put the stone the quartz countertop on it.
I'm
I
with you,
can't
son.
imagine. I can't imagine what he'd do for $800. And my son just thinks that's a total scam. So
He's got my vote.
but he had a fancy tool, looked impressive. I got some other stuff that I'm gonna want to do. I'm gonna want to, I still got my sump pump that's on the web, and the idea of this thing is that it would be smart. But I've been collecting data for I got about 2 years worth of data. A lot of times, what I have to do is I have to go in and manually tune it. But I'm trying to figure out what I can do with the data to make it more predictive. Because there is a float just there's a sensor that will turn it on just for emergencies if it overflows. But the idea is that it should never get high enough so that it triggers that sensor. It should always be smart enough so that it knows how to pump the water out. And I'm actually thinking about because there's a gurgling sound when it goes too low. That is, there's not enough water coming in.
Yeah, it's
and
pulling
about
air.
adding a sensor that can detect that sound. I was also thinking about, on the high end, instead of using, one of these moisture sensors, having like a proximity detector. The problem with the moisture sensors is those things are going to corrode over time. Because I used to have it set up so that I had a moisture sensor and it would actually touch the water. That doesn't last. It's about 3 months. That thing will corrode and it doesn't work anymore. I tried there's a better sensor, but the problem with that one is that if the water actually gets over the pin connection, it's dead. It just stops working. So I haven't played with that in a while, and this is a pie in the sky thing, but the idea is to have this pump that's smart enough through whatever means that it'll run by itself. You can also get from websites, you can look at what the probability of rain is, and that I haven't figured out how to wave that in. But the idea is that this thing would just run forever and not have a sensor that detects. It's getting around something that's really simple and actually quite reliable, but that was a path I started on 2 years ago, and I'm still not there. I can actually tweak it. I have it set up so that if I want to make it run more often, or if I want to have it pump more water, I can change those settings. I got like a little web application that can do that kind of thing. It sends commands to it. So I'm going to be getting back to that soon. You guys also remember that I used to have a garage door opener that I could control from the web. Now everybody is doing that now, so mine is big, it uses Arduino, and it's just kind of obsolete. I actually have a miniature version of that now, but I haven't installed it. So after I get my web server, not the web server, but I get the mail server working good, I'll get back to that kind of stuff.
No.
One of the things you might consider, Frank, a number of my students last term for their project did projects where they used a lot of these are air conditioning and boiler students and so forth. They did projects where they used an ultrasonic distance sensor like you would use on the front of a robot to sense the wall or whatever. And they successfully were able to set them up so that they measured the level in a tank. So rather than having a float in the tank, they used this ultrasonic distance measurement to measure what the level of the fluid water In some cases, it's sewage. In some cases, it's just water. In the tank, now, I have no data whatsoever on how long that sensor will last in that humid environment. It may well be that those ultrasonic things go the same way as the as your contact sensor goes. My guess is that particularly where there's sewage involved, and you don't have sewage in your sump pump. I assume it's just groundwater.
Yeah.
But I have no idea how long those things last in that circumstance. They may self-destruct in a month or so too.
I did a reclaim project up in Cincinnati, and we used 3 sensors with basically it's 3 different levels of the tank, and they knew that they had to replace them every few years and to double check if the sensor was functional or not. And they used to use, or previous to that, they were using an ultrasonic distance measurement, but this ultrasonic suffers from corrosion. It's not really all that accurate. It has to continuously run. And if the surface of the material, the water or whatever chemical, if it's rippling or if it has a froth to it, the ultrasonic sensor is just blown out of the water. It's just wrong.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't foam.
Other ambient noises can be an issue as well.
Yeah. It doesn't foam, but it gets splashy.
Yeah.
Well, understand on a student project, the MTBF has to be long enough for them to do the demo.
One time.
And that's it.
Do the demo, you get your grade, that's it.
That's right. Bam.
Yeah, I was going to recommend it. I've got a couple of sensors here that they're water float sensors. And I've also got water flow sensors. So in order to check, and because you were trying to sense if the water was gurgling, and really the proper check is that if the water is flowing, if it's stopped moving, or if you don't have that proper flow rate, I wouldn't try to listen to the gurgling sound, but I would try to check and see what is the flow rate, and is the flow rate actually happening?
Yeah, okay. The flow is really not something in question. This basement is actually too deep.
Yeah, but if it's gurgling, you'll have an extreme change in flow.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
They do make waterproof ultrasonics, or water, I guess, are more water resistant ultrasonics.
So if it's waterproof, it should be moisture proof.
That would.
I was working with a company called Clean Harbor in Cincinnati, and they had lots of different chemicals.
Yeah, I think with these, the idea is to have your electronics actually somewhere not near the water. So the ultrasonic is what's waterproof or water resistant, and your electronics are safe in somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Even with the regular sensors, the cheap sensors, the electronics is actually far enough away, but it's actually the center, the sensor itself that will get corroded or over time.
Yeah,
You could always look and see how they do it in a gas tank,
it's true.
because they're using, I think there's spiral sensors.
Yeah.
I thought they were just plain floats. You're talking about an automobile gas tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought in an automobile tank it was a float. I guess it
A
depends on the
spiral
age of the
float.
car. Anyway, if you Google that, Frank,
Okay, I see it.
yeah, there's a half a dozen different styles of waterproof ultrasonic sensors. So,
Yeah.
let's see if I can stop that one. Stop. I don't know if it stopped. Did it stop?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm still not seeing you guys. I don't know
Well,
if
you
anything's
were able
working
to
or
share.
not.
You were able to share.
Yeah, I don't
And
know if anything's actually
what
working.
happens, you haven't stopped to share, yet we still can see you.
Yep.
So you can still see the share, huh?
No.
When you
No.
did the share before, we could see the share.
Right
I
now,
don't know.
we don't see the share.
I don't see it now, but when I was looking at it.
I don't know. I don't see you guys. That's all I know. All I see is my desktop.
Well, I think probably if you logged off and you joined again.
Yeah, but if I did that, I would kill the meeting because I'm
okay,
I'm the
He's the
host.
host.
You're the host.
So I'll just put up with whatever nonsense happened. It was probably my fault. I think when the grandkid called in, she did something. The computer freaked out.
You're gonna have to blame it on the tool.
Don't blame it on the grandkid.
No, it's never operator fault.
Right.
You were technician. You know how that goes.
Yeah. So I don't know. Somebody's going. I know we've got to be getting close to time, but
Okay.
somebody's going to have to watch it.
We're at 7 minutes and 57 seconds
okay.
right now.
Yeah, I knew we were getting close. I just didn't know how close. So,
Leroy, I'm trying to use my old Chromecast for remote TVs, and it's semi-stable. I forgot that you could spin off or direct something at it, which makes it much more useful. So I go up into the Spectrum app and say, direct this at the Chromecast, and it has that ability, and it'll spin it off. It's a little unstable. I've got a Fire Stick here, and I'm trying to load the app onto it, and it looks like you're supposed to be able to. So,
yeah, I really haven't used Chromecast in probably over a year.
oh yeah, these are getting old. These are 4 or 5 years old now.
Yep. Yep.
We used to use them all the time there at
Automation Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the library.
Yeah, at the library, it was a good thing, but it's been over a year now, or almost a year.
So when do you think we'll be back?
Oh, I already did. I already sent
Next year?
Who knows? At the rate everything's going, who knows what's going to happen?
So who's gotten vaccines so far?
I don't have it so far. My wife is still trying to find out, where you can get it, and she's playing with websites.
Barbara and I are now on a wait list for Meyer over here it's the local Meyer. Turns out that most of these places are going per site. So in other words, you can't go to Kroger's and get all Kroger sites. You can't go to Myers and get all Myers sites and so forth and so on. You have to go to the specific site. And according to the people in Myers, what they're telling us is they get an allocation once a week. And once they've got an allocation, comes in early in the week, they then start calling people and getting them on appointments. And then once they've got them on appointments, they start checking them off. And they go down the list until they run out of allocation, and then they wait till next week. So that's the arrangement we've got right now, is we're on the list. Problem is we can't tell where we are on the list. I don't know if I'm number 1 or number 1,000 at this point in time.
There's no appointment kind of thing going on.
No, that is the appointment. Basically, we are on the list to get an appointment. What happens is,
I get it.
no, it's straightforward. We're on the list to get an appointment. When they get their allocation, then they call people and give them appointments until they run out, and then they roll over to the next week. But you don't get an appointment until they've got their allocation to go down the list far enough to get to you.
It seems like you would be able to probably clog up a lot of lists. That is, if you get an appointment at Meyer and you get one at Kroger.
Absolutely, I think you can do that. And my guess is there are a lot of people that do. According to what they said, is they have a fair number of no-shows. Well, that tells me you got people double booking. You may remember, I don't know, 20 or 30 years ago, the airlines were having problems with that, where people were booking flights on various airlines to get to the same point. Well, the airlines have gotten more sophisticated now, and they collaborate, I guess is the polite term for it. So if you've got a booking on Delta, and you try to book the same path on Southwest or whatever, they say, oh, no, you can't do that. So, but apparently the folks that are doing the virus vaccine allocations haven't figured that out yet. So I think you can still go and book it, not only Myers and Kroger, but also multiple Myers and multiple Krogers. So, but you don't actually have an appointment until they call you saying that they've got vaccine allocated. By the way, Leroy, we're at 2 minutes and 21 seconds now.
All right. Yeah. I'm just staring at a screen that's nothing.
So this is you, Ray? Ray, you're sharing?
Oh, I'm trying to share. I didn't know what all was going on.
I can see it.
Oh, yeah, we can see it.
I can't see it.
So I've got 2 files here opened up, and I'll go over them real quickly. I'm purchasing 2 laser machines that are going to be my toy versus investment kind of thing, and one of them is going to be a basically it's a little over 4 foot by 4 foot, and it's fully enclosed. Looks a lot like that, but it's not from this vendor. And it's going to be 1,500 watts. And then I'm also buying one that looks a lot like this, where it has a front viewing and manipulation area, and it has a shuffle table in the back so that I can actually roll stuff in and out. Kind of a top material, bottom material. Makes it a lot easier to load and unload. That way it's continuous working. So I don't have to wait for an unload reload process to start processing the material.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to get a 200 psi rotary screw air compressor, a bunch of other stuff, but it's really neat. 1,500 watts. It'll be able to cut slowly 14 millimeter steel, but if you're looking at 1/8 inch steel, it'll rip through it 4 meters per minute, which is crazy fast.
By the way, Ray, we just hit 30 seconds.
Yes. So anyway, lots of aluminum, steel, brass, stainless steel, lots of cool stuff. I just thought
See everybody next week. Hopefully I'll see everybody next week.
Yep.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Bye, bye.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Leroy, I'll